Prepare to be amazed by the rarest two-cylinder engines that pack a surprising punch. You won't believe how these tiny powerhouses can drive a car. Zillionaires Toys has rounded up the coolest two bangers ever made. Let's discover the incredible engineering behind these pint-sized wonders. Let's start with the Alfa Romeo Mito. Meet the Alfa Romeo Mito, a stylish cousin to the Fiat 500L, both sharing the same SCCS platform. Though the Mito was meant to revive Alfa Romeo, it fell short due to its unreliable 1.4-liter engine, clunky dual-clutch transmission, and limited practicality. But it sure looked great and was a blast to drive. Later on, it offered a quirky 0.9-liter twin-air two-cylinder engine. Just 80 horsepower from a pint-sized, turbocharged engine that made it sound like an angry ant. Perfect for zipping around the city, but not much else. Next up is the Fiat 500. The Fiat 500 is one of the most iconic small cars ever made. We're looking at the modern version, introduced in 2012 for the US market. Like the Alfa Romeo Mito, the 500 had several engine options, including a 0.9-liter twin-air turbo, the same two-cylinder engine as the Mito. However, this tiny engine was only available later in the car's life and was never sold in the US, likely because it seemed too underpowered. Weighing about 200 pounds less than the Mito, the 500 could accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour slightly quicker and reach just over 100 mph. After 7 years of poor sales, Stellantis discontinued the 500 in the US. Today, Fiat still offers the 500X compact crossover and the electric 500e in the US. The Citroën 2 CV. The Citroën 2 CV is a classic people's car from France, designed purely for practicality rather than style. Unlike the Fiat 500, the 2 CV was all about being a basic, utilitarian vehicle. Its original engine was a simple flat twin, air-cooled engine that produced just 9 horsepower, making its main rival a mule cart. The 2 CV remained largely unchanged until it was discontinued in 1990. Over its 42-year run, only a few engine upgrades were made, with the final 1990 model producing 29 horsepower and 29 foot-pounds of torque. Even in its later years, the 2 CV could still be hand-cranked to start. The later models could reach a top speed of 71 miles per hour, but it took 35 seconds to go from 0 to 60. The BMW 600. Next is the BMW 600, a car much rarer than the 2 CV and Fiat 500. If you're familiar with BMW's small cars from the 1950s, you'll notice it resembles the BMW Isetta, and that's because it's based on it. The 600 had a 580cc flat twin engine taken from BMW's R67 motorcycle, mounted at the rear and delivering 28 foot-pounds of torque. The BMW 600 was only produced for 2 years before it was replaced by the more traditionally shaped BMW 700, another simple and affordable car for the masses. The Volkswagen XL1. The Volkswagen XL1 might look like just another wild concept car, but it actually went into production in 2013. It was powered by a small 800cc diesel engine paired with a hybrid system, allowing it to achieve over 260 miles per gallon. Volkswagen called it a super efficient vehicle, or SEV. The XL1 was the idea of Ferdinand and Peach, known for pushing VW to create innovative vehicles like the Audi Quattro, Volkswagen Phaeton, the W12 engine, and Bugatti Veyron. Only 250 XL1s were made in 2015 and 2016, although it delivered impressive fuel efficiency. Using features like air conditioning, and the radio significantly reduced its mileage from 260 mpg to less than 100. Despite this, VW considered the XL1 a success. Third on our list is the quirky Morgan three-wheeler. It looks like it came straight out of the 1940s, but it's actually a modern vehicle, although it lacks some common comforts. The Morgan three-wheeler is powered by a 2-liter V-twin engine from the American motorcycle company S&S. Despite being a 2-cylinder engine, it has a large displacement and provides plenty of power for the lightweight 1,200-pound car. In the US, the three-wheeler is technically classified as a motorcycle, so it's taxed accordingly. But Morgan markets it as a sports car because of its balance and speed, making it great for track use. As a future alternative, Morgan worked on an electric version of the three-wheeler but scrapped the project in 2018. In 2023, Morgan released a new version called the Super 3 for the US market, now powered by Ford's 3-cylinder EcoBoost engine. It's unfortunate because the old model had an incredible sound. Second on our list is the Tata Nano. The Nano was once the world's cheapest new car, made by Tata Motors in India. It was very popular, with a starting price of about 100,000 rupees, or around $2,500. The car was extremely basic, including its small 624cc engine with a single camshaft and fuel injection. It took over 30 seconds to reach 60 miles per hour and has a top speed of 65. However, the Nano had several issues, mainly due to cost-cutting and poor build quality. It was prone to catching fire and wasn't great to drive. But given its low price, about the same as a couple of new iPhones, these flaws were somewhat expected. The Nano was eventually discontinued as India's economy grew, with customers moving on to other options. And finally, the Suzuki Celerio. The last car on our list is the Suzuki Celerio, a compact hatchback that falls into the city car category. The Celerio has been made since 2008, but we're focusing on a small 2-cylinder diesel engine introduced in 2015 for the Indian market, which was produced for just 2 years. This turbocharged engine has a 793cc displacement, is made entirely of aluminum, and includes a balancing shaft to reduce vibrations. Its short production run was due to poor sales and mechanical problems. The engine was also used from 2016 to 2020 in the Suzuki Super Caravan, sold in India and the Philippines. Today, the Celerio is only available with a 1-liter, 3-cylinder gasoline engine. And there you have it, folks, the 8 coolest cars with only 2-cylinder engines. Don't forget to like, and if you are new to the channel, subscribe, and see you next time on